to Jackie's Kitchen. I've got my daughter Alicia here from Florida, and my niece Elizabeth.
Hey.
And we're gonna show you our version of the TikTok ramen noodle lasagna. And we're gonna start out with some 2 pounds of ground beef. We're gonna use 2 jars, 24-ounce spaghetti sauce. And these are just some spices we'll show you as we use them. And we got some ricotta cheese here, some Parmesan Romano cheese, and mozzarella cheese slices. And of course, we got 6 packs of ramen noodles, and the flavor of this really doesn't make a difference, right? You're gonna take the seasoning pack out anyway. So hold tight, we're gonna start browning our ground beef. So here's my 2 pounds of ground beef. And you can use whatever kind you want. I'm just gonna dump it in the pan and start the heat on medium-high. Break it up here, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of seasoning on it. You know, I use the old-fashioned butcher shop all-purpose seasoning for my ground beef. So this is gonna be simple. Most everybody, I'm sorry if you don't, but most people know how to brown the ground beef up. So you just kind of want it chopped up like you would be doing, you know, anything else you use crumbled, you know, ground beef for. So I'm going to season it and get it frying here, and I'll come back in a few minutes when it is going on here frying in full effect. Meat is cooked and brown, so I'm going to strain the grease for mine, but don't rinse the meat, just strain it. So now we got the meat strained, and we're just going to put it in a great big bowl and mix it with these 2 jars of tomato, basil, garlic pasta sauce from Great Value. We're going to use them both because we want a lot of sauce. I do have another jar if need be. Okay, so we're going to mix this all up and start making the lasagna. And this is going to be a really good time for us to preset our oven. We're going to put it on bake, and I'm going to put mine on 400. If you have an extra hot oven, you might want to start off at 375. And then the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to open all these little ramen noodle packs and pull out each and every one of the seasoning packs and toss them to the side. So I'm going to take and I'm going to put a small layer, thin layer, so that we can make sure there's enough sauce at the bottom so that the noodles have liquid up and down, so that we can make sure that everything cooks and the noodles are not crunchy. So I am also using 6 packs of ramen noodles, and I'm going to crack them in half to make 3 pretty thin layers. So I've got the first layer of the sauce with the meat in it, and next I'm going to bust these noodles in half like so, and just put them side by side. Okay, now I've got the first 3 packs of ramen noodles broke apart and put on the bottom layer. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to smear the ricotta cheese right here in the center. So I have 2. I have one made with whole milk original and a fat-free version. So I'm going to start with the whole milk because, you know, everything fattening tastes way better. And I'm going to smear that on first, and if I run out, I will use the one that's made part skim. Now, if you are counting calories, then you could use the part skim throughout the whole thing. But we're going to put a whole lot of cheese on this, so I'm not sure if it's possible to make this low-fat dish. So the ricotta cheese did not make it the first little tub. If you want to spread it thinner and make one work, you can, but I put it pretty thick, so I'm using, you know, about 1/3 of the second jar of the low-fat version of this. So now I've got the cheese smeared on, and it's looking really good here. Next, I'm going to put another layer of this meat. kind of thin spread out. And sauce. I want to have some left over to put on the very top, so that's why I'm not going to put a whole lot right now. And as soon as I get this on though, I'm going to sprinkle this with some Italian seasoning. And you don't have to. If you don't like things spicy, you should not use a whole lot of this Italian seasoning. But I like it, and we don't like it, and it's not that bad. So we're going to sprinkle it on pretty good. And then we're going to add our next layer of noodles. And 6 packs should work pretty close to perfect. Maybe having some left over. Yeah. So maybe you only really need 5 packs because, you know, there is some left over. And I'm going to put them, you know, so you kind of waste a little bit, maybe. Oops. And there we go. Now I'm going to also sprinkle mine with some Parmesan Romano here on this next section. I'm going to sprinkle this all over the top. I like a lot of cheese in my stuff. And so this is in no way, shape, or form the actual TikTok that we watched that had this. We just like the idea of using the ramen, so that's why we're making our own version. Now I'm going to put this mozzarella slices. I bought 2 packs. You can use 1 pack or some shredded or whatever kind of mozzarella cheese that you like when you're making your lasagna. And yeah, this is going to be about 8 pieces. 8, 9, maybe 10 on this. And I'm probably going to put some more on top, to be honest. I'm going to just load it down with cheese so it's all gooey and stuff. And use it all up. I always like a lot of cheese. So there we go. Put it all on. And then we're going to put our last layer of this.
That's even funnier. Oh God. I wish I still had that TikTok we made of him. That was hilarious.
As an added feature here, I am getting ready to, we're at the 7-minute mark on the oven. So I'm gonna pop in some garlic breadsticks and some garlic knots. These are just great value brand. I mean, you can do garlic toast or whatever you like with your, you know, like Italian pasta dishes and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna have these, and I've already got them on the pan here with a piece of foil because I don't really like washing all this burnt stuff off my pan. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop these in on the bottom rack here of the oven. There's already a pan in here. I'm leaving it. I'm popping it in, and I'm gonna go ahead and just let the timer ride. The oven's at 400, the box, so that does say 425 when you're making your garlic breadsticks, but the oven's plenty hot, and I'm sure they're gonna cook fine, and if they need more than 7 minutes, then so be it. But I pulled my garlic knots and my garlic breadsticks out at the 7-minute mark, and then I just kind of reset my stove to 500 on broil just to kind of brown the mozzarella cheese that's on top. So I'm going to give that about, you know, maybe a minute, 45 seconds so it doesn't burn. Okay, so the broil lasted about a minute, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. It is piping hot and bubbling, and the cheese is brown on top. And so this did go about 30, maybe 1.5 minutes in the oven. And I'm gonna let it sit for a few minutes and cool and settle before I try to cut it. And so I'll be back in a minute for you to see what my cut product looks like, and me and Alicia are gonna sample it for you. So for all you garlic lovers, we put 2 tablespoons of butter and a little garlic powder and some Parmesan cheese in a bowl and heat it up in the microwave. And we're just gonna top our garlic knots and garlic breadsticks with some of this. So you just lightly brush this over the top to give this some added, you know, drizzle. And then once you've got all of these coated real nice, your bowl's gonna run out. And that's when you know that it's time to go ahead and slice up this lasagna. Now I'm gonna take this spatula and hopefully this will cut real nice and easy, like so. We're gonna cut in sections. There's a lot of cheese under, it doesn't matter who gets that piece, but I probably will. And I'm gonna make squares. And there it goes. So there's the ramen, there's the cheese. So yeah, this is gonna be good. So this is how the final product looks. It's really cheesy. You could see the noodles in it, and this is gonna be really good. I'm gonna kind of mix mine up so I can get the cheese through. I wanted to tell everybody how super excited I was. It was Mother's Day weekend, and my daughter surprised me and showed up here on Saturday. It was the most spectacular surprise ever, and the best Mother's Day. I hope all of you that are watching that have children had a happy Mother's Day, and I hope you try and enjoy the ramen noodle TikTok lasagna. How is it?
It was really good, yeah. It's fire.
Oh yeah. And I'm having mine with a garlic knot. And Alicia's having a garlic stick. So, as always, thank you so much for watching Jackie's Kitchen. Like, share, subscribe, and join us again next week for another video.